So a lot of restoration tech companies typically try to veer away from the restoration contractor to adjacent industries like the insurance industry or other contracting industries to be able to fund their product. The problem with that is it dilutes the core focus and the restoration contractor gets left behind. In this video, I want to go and highlight 4 companies that are building tech-enabled products for the restoration contractor alone with no other strings attached, and I really want to shout them out because I think they're doing wonderful things. And none of these companies have asked me to do this, and in fact, I think 2 of these companies are probably going to come back after me for logo infringement because I'm using their logos in this video, but I still want to highlight what I believe are true innovative products for the restoration industry. The first company is actually Actionable Insights, and they've been around since I've been around in the industry. I believe they were founded by Mark Watley and a few others, and what Actionable Insights tried to do is create, first of all, this awesome database of insight sheets. And this database of insight sheets is basically how to write specific parts of an exact estimate. So if a restorer runs into, let's say, a flooded basement with a bar that they need to deconstruct, they're actually able to go and find an insight sheet for that, and it'll help them inspire and have the macros needed to be able to build out that estimate. I find that very helpful, and oftentimes I've gone to the Actionable Insights database to be able to use that to build my estimates. The second really cool thing that Actionable Insights has done is they've released this actionable profile. And if you're not using the actionable profile currently, you're really missing out. It's this Xactimate profile that basically syncs up to your Xactimate, and it helps you by, I believe it's AI powered, write better estimates and kind of correct your estimates as you're actually writing them in real time. It is super valuable. It is a game changer. If you're not using it, you absolutely should. The second product recently raised a bunch of venture capital money in their Series A. The founder of that company, Ryan Holiday, inspired me to go out and raise venture capital for Albiware. And this company is iink Payments. So if you haven't heard of iink, don't worry. They really haven't busted into the fire and water mitigation side of the industry too much yet. They've stayed more on the roofing side, but they've got a mind-blowing product that helps restoration contractors with their biggest pain point, which is actually cash flow. If you have a check over $40,000 from an insurance company, typically that check goes to the homeowner. It might have your name on it, but it for sure will have the mortgage company's name on that check. And as you and I both know, it is such a pain to go through the entire process to get the mortgage company to endorse that check, and it slows down the entire reconstruction project. So they've come up with a product that basically does all of that work for you. They can basically work with the mortgage company directly and release those funds to you. And if you want the funds right away so you can start the project right away, they have this factoring or credit product where they advance you the funds before they even get them from the mortgage company. We've used it at Romextera. I think it's a wonderful product, and they're definitely restoration contractor focused, and they've been doing a lot of innovations within the payment space. The third product I want to talk about is Encircle. For the past 10 to 15 years, I think Encircle has done a wonderful job solving the pain point of field documentation within the restoration industry. At the end of the day, we all know that if we can't justify the work that we do out in the field, we're going to have a hard time getting paid. And Encircle has so far for the past 15 years taken a very, very contractor product focused approach where they work on building things that are actually going to solve the pain points of those technicians in the field. And they've also done a lot to educate the industry on proper field documentation processes, which I really commend them for. Their coolest new development is actually this tool that you can walk around with your phone, and it captures a video of the entire property loss and then turns that directly into a sketch file that then goes into the Xactimate ESX. So that basically replaces 3D imaging solutions like Matterport and DocuSketch, and you don't have to worry about carrying this camera and having this other application. You can scan with the Encircle device, and documentation is just made very easy. So I'm super excited to follow along their journey. They integrate directly with Albi, which I love, and we have a lot of Albi customers that choose to use Encircle to supercharge their field documentation, and then all that data goes back into Albi so that way they can handle their project management. And the last company that I want to talk about is actually a channel partner of Albiware, and that is Kahi. Kahi started out as a Bluetooth equipment tracking solution for restoration contractors. Prior to Kahi, you would have to either manually try to assign your equipment on a whiteboard or barcode scan your equipment as it went in and out of job sites. Kahi basically provides this receiver that sits on your trucks, and anytime your equipment leaves your truck and goes onto a job site, it is tracked to that job site, and anytime you go back and put the equipment back on the truck, it's tracked back to the truck and back to the warehouse. I think it's an absolute game changer because it basically eliminates the equipment tracking needs that a technician needs to manually input. And then you can even take that a step further where you now have documentation of all the equipment punch in and punch out times, and you can create a time and material bill using Albi for that. The second thing that I hear they're coming out with, which I also think is going to be a game-changing add-on, is actually true remote monitoring. So there are some other startups within the restoration industry that I haven't named in this list that have tried to tackle the problem of remote monitoring, but nobody has figured out a way to make it open API and make the data seamlessly flow. And also most of the other remote monitoring solutions require some sort of phone or some sort of gateway that is clunky that needs to be placed on the job site. So Kahi has this innovative way with these sensors that communicate through the ecosystem back to Kahi, and they're actually building this product that's going to be able to provide real-time remote monitoring, and we can't wait for them to come out with it. And then we're going to take all that data and plop it straight into Albiware's system, and then you'll basically eliminate the need to do any moisture checks, which is very time-consuming and I'm super stoked about. If you know any of these companies, give them a shout out. Go ahead, give them a high five. It's really, really, really hard to build technology in this space, and I really am happy when I see other companies that are product focused. They don't care about the insurance company. They don't care about other markets. They're purely restorers, and they care about restorers so deeply, and they try to solve those problems. We simply cannot evolve as a restoration industry together if we do not have technology pushing us forward. If you like this video and want to hear more, I'm very dedicated to putting out more content like this. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell below, and I'm super excited to see you next week.